come into the room whenever you want. It's been open.
No.
Oh, but don't you want to encounter the consequences
No.
of your actions? If we don't do it now, it'll only happen next session.
No.
You will need to have a song prepared for the class.
No. It's not even the full party today.
So, that just means you and I need to step up even more.
I've already stepped up a lot.
Oh yes, foot after foot, right out the door.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. We're a little early today, but I think that's okay. At least I hope you're all okay with that. Or at least, you know, starting a little early and stuff. Whatever. Anyways, hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Razim. This is Guild Tales Dungeons and Dragons. So we are starting to do some, what we're calling Paralogue chapters with Guild Tales Dungeons and Dragons. These are going to be smaller sessions focused on kind of side things that were happening with one or two characters. Because the simple fact is, this particular campaign has had a lot of splitting the party. But it's been okay, because we're not exactly, you know, out in dungeons or anything, right? At least we're usually together for combat. Or at least major. Okay, maybe we're not. Either way, that is the point of this particular campaign. Or this session and future ones like it. So last time we had Nim going off to his job while everyone else went to the Asurius Senate for a big... I'm not even sure what it is, to be honest. Court hearing, I guess?
Sort of, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, basically a court hearing. And, but Nim had to work, so he went to his job. And then they got the rest of the party got attacked. Cray ran off at the start of the battle when he saw the enemies. And we're going to be covering Cray's story and Nim's first day at work. I'll turn it over to you now, Digi.
Lovely stuff. That is generally correct. And so we shall be picking up with Nim. Post returning after Raylel's investigation, there is an amount of cleaning to do and reassuring the customers that left that yes, things are fine, everything is fine. Please return to your seats, and previous reservations may have to be a little delayed, but everything is fine, everything is fine. It is perfectly safe now. However, they may be hiring more security to stand about in the future.
Nim,
However, yes.
Nim is going to be going up to, what is the name of his boss again? The head chef?
I'm just calling him Ramsey, the goat.
Okay, Ramsey. I thought you had a different name for him, but either way, Nim's gonna go up and profusely apologize. I really don't know what happened there. Can we maybe look past that, please? I'll make something for all the customers, something special for them to make up for it.
It's gonna be a lot of cooking.
Well, yeah, Yeah, but there's only so many that were here when that happened, right?
Enough. Right. Back to your stations, everyone. And most people return. Others, who instead had their stations animated to block the door previously, are still washing them again because they were in contact with the floor.
Yes, definitely not my fault. He did not say that in character, for the record.
Yes.
He's just Nim is kind of just sheepishly trying to hide at his station. Hoping nobody pays much attention to him.
Well, Raylel certainly isn't here. However, a number of coworkers did witness such events. However, you are soon going to start being very occupied.
Great. So, what's up first?
Well, what would you like to prepare for all the people who were at the restaurant during such tribulations?
Well, Nim is going to use some of his own food, his own stuff that he's collected.
Dipping into the reserves.
Yes. He kind of feels like it's the best way to get back in the good graces with Ramsey after, the disturbance.
Caused by both an otter and some human? Question mark?
Quick question. Was the purple worm meat ever cleansed? I forget.
Yes, and
Okay.
it was delivered to you by the otter.
That's exactly what the otter was here for, besides talking to you about the brainworm.
Yes.
No, that was Chimera.
Oh, that's right. That
Actually?
Yes, the purple worm meat has also been slowly treated.
Well, since that's what was delivered, the Chimera meat, how many pounds of that did I get? Anything in particular good or what?
You got 15 pounds of chimera meat in assorted chunks.
Alright. I basically just keep track of the weight of what I've got instead of numbers.
Fair enough.
So, about how many people would you say were impacted by all that?
Since this is a rather high-end restaurant that requires reservations to enter, I'd only say about 22 people were currently inside. The restaurant rarely seats above 30.
Alright, in that case, Nim is going to prepare some mini chimera meat pies. He's got a bunch of assorted veggies. I'm sure he can whip up some gravy to go inside. He doesn't have any bread stuff, so he will borrow some of that from the restaurant. But the most expensive part is definitely the meat.
Right.
So, I'd probably say 5 pounds of meat would be enough for what he's got in mind.
Dividing it into meat pies? Very likely.
Yeah,
And you could get a good gravy going from preparing the meat and then using the hand leftovers along with some of that flour to get something going.
yeah. So he's gonna be working on that, testing it all the way, taste testing along the way to make sure it is the top quality that he could possibly achieve.
All right, let's see that roll. Also, are you doing this by yourself, or are you dividing the tasks with some coworkers to get it done faster?
Nim and Silver work on it.
All right. Thus, the return of Silver. Haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, he's been here. He's popped up here and there.
Yes, he was there during the Raylel incident, but since then they've not been very prominent.
Okay, like I said, he's taste testing, so he would throw out things as he realizes this is not good enough.
Yeah, you bite into something. Wait, that's the pan. Shit, it just smelled like meat.
We need... Oh, I should not be playing this song. I don't have permission for that one. Let me go back to one of my playlists. Thank you, YouTube, for dragging me off into La La Land. It loves to do that, you know?
So it does.
It does.
Random directions.
Turn that down. There we go. So yeah, Nim is being very careful with this dish, working as fast as he can, but he would toss out anything that doesn't taste up to his standards, which are very high. That I accept.
Sure.
He's gonna prepare a little kind of mini meat pie, basically pot pie, you know, but like the little ones that you get from the store.
Yes.
That are supposed to be a full a full meal, but they are definitely not enough for anybody. So everybody's got an appetizer at least.
And let's see how Silver contributes.
Silver's main methods of contribution are things like stirring and such, nothing particularly major, though Nim will definitely be training Silver up.
Silver is putting dough in the pot pies. Because it needs filling, right?
He's filling the pot pies with the dough.
Yes.
Like instead of the meat and stuff?
Well, it's like what you think is supposed to be the crust, but then he's like putting more dough in.
No, that's enough, Silver. We gotta just kind of a thinner layer of crust there. Yeah, like that.
I just realized something.
With vigilance and directions, Silver will try to correct themselves.
I just realized something.
Go on.
And I might be wrong about this, but I don't know if Silver was ever groomed.
Nim did make sure of that.
Okay.
They were very unhappy about the grooming. However, upon tasting this pot pie, high or low?
I'm gonna say low.
You eat this pot pie, and there's something lingering on your tongue.
Good or bad?
It's like you can feel it, but you can't taste it. It's very thin. like it's difficult to scrape with a tooth.
So,
It's like you licked a cat or something.
okay. In that case, because he would
grease.
have. I'm assuming this is the filling that he tasted.
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to kind of empty. Well, this would be before he actually started putting it into all of the pot pies. So the crusts are good.
Yes.
He
Crusts are
will-
good. Checking the filling. Yep.
So the filling needs some more.
Well, it's like there's something that you didn't put in there.
Seasoning. He's got the veggies. He's got the gravy. He's got the meat.
Would you like to roll an insight check?
I was just about to do so.
Yes. This is familiar. This is something very familiar, but it doesn't have to do with cooking. Oh, it's hair. There's a hair on your tongue.
Oh! I thought I got groomed well enough to not have shedding.
You have then also been in an extraordinarily stressful situation since then and been teleported.
True. Well, no, I got groomed again after the teleporting stuff.
Oh, was
But
that the case?
Yeah, but the head being ripped off was definitely a stressful situation.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Just a little stressful. You know.
You temporarily became a Dullahan. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You got better.
Would have been cool.
But is the filling itself okay then?
Upon observation, there's a few hairs, but they seem to very much just be surface level.
Okay. He's gonna use one of the animated spoons to start scooping out the hair. And then look around to make sure nobody's watching before ducking out the back door real quick to give himself a very thorough shake of any other loose hair.
It also does help that you are, as of this moment, bright green. So the hairs are not unnoticeable.
I thought we had it dyed, so that wasn't the case.
Oh, did you? I
Yeah.
thought because it wasn't. Well, all right.
To be fair,
Look-
it has been 3 weeks since Nim had anything that actually happened.
Yeah. Corn.
Right. I guess I don't remember everything because
Yeah, Corn died. Corn actually analyzed the spell and told Nin that it would take like 46 days or something to warn off, and Corn couldn't dispel the thing by himself, so he decided to die Nim.
right.
Which unfortunately makes it much more difficult to pull out the hair, but he's got one of the animated spoons on it while he is
Yep.
he's shaking out
The
every
magic
bit.
spoon is working on it, and
He also drags Silver
hairs
as well.
do fly, mostly around your neck. Curiously enough.
He's gonna tilt his head to kind of give a better view of the neck and ask Silver to inspect it for anything weird.
It's like you have a small ring around your neck where the hair seems less firmly attached. But apart from that, there's no explicit markings.
Okay. Well, he is gonna really make sure that he gets it all out outside the back door, and then go back to cooking. After making sure to wash his paws.
Good choice. With that being done, yes, things are looking better now. However, the animated spoon seems to have scooped out a bit more than was necessary, but this filling is very fur-free.
That is fine. Nim will
Or
simply
Did you leave it? You didn't leave it on the pan, did you?
No, this was off the heat.
Good, good.
No, yeah. He is going to prepare some extra filling, unless what he's got left is sufficient for the pies.
If you downsize them a little, it should be enough.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and go with the downsize just a little bit.
All right.
He is
It's
going
not got
to...
it's not got the rounded top, but they'll just have flat tops instead.
In fact, he's gonna let the tops be a little sunken in, so that way he can put a small dollop of butter in there to soak in while it's baking. Just a little one, you know, just to give a slightly extra, buttery taste.
Add some butter to the top. Make the dough stand out.
Yeah. After all, a good pot pie, the crust is definitely part of it instead of just a holder.
So it is, so it is.
I love pot pies, can you tell?
I also am a fan.
Right now, my freezer would be absolutely packed full of them, except Chim's got the freezer completely packed full of his stuff. So I didn't have any room to put any in. But I love pot pies. Like I said, crust is great for a pot pie. It just needs to be, it needs just as much attention as the filling.
The meat itself was curious. Very strong in flavor, though. Very strong in flavor. But it was hard to place. Very hard to place.
As long as it is good quality meat. Good
it's good
flavor.
Meat. Maybe a little dried out, though. But rehydrating it isn't too much of a problem.
Okay. Well, especially because it's soaking in gravy and grease and stuff.
Yes, it'll take all of that in. The pies will be baked.
As they are baking, he's gonna go see if he can figure out what he should be doing next. If he can't figure that out, then he will go ask.
Oh, what, line up? Yes, please. Well, you've got more orders coming in. As it seems that some people have left, and others are trickling in, and others are less happy that their allotted time seemed to be different than the predicted.
Well, then Nim, especially with it being his first day on the job, is going to work extra hard to make sure that while they may not get as much time, the customers will leave absolutely astounded by the food. Of course, he's also got to learn the recipes for this restaurant. Oh boy.
Oh yes, and there are quite the number. There are a number of people that are doing some interesting cooking techniques that you are not familiar with, actually.
Well, that was the main reason he wanted the job, so he could learn.
Yes.
Well, that and, Cray said that we needed to go get jobs.
Ah, yes. The source of all this. We need to do jobs. Nim gets job. Great surprise, Pikachu face.
Basically.
Because of course he would do that. Not guild work, civilian work. But this is a very good place.
I mean, Nim didn't know what kind of work he was saying.
Certainly.
Nim always knew the guild work type stuff as quests rather than, just work.
Great, this is a job. No, it's an adventure! Cray, I don't get paid enough for this.
In fact, I'm not getting paid. What the hell?
I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing it. That's how Cray works.
Well, you're not getting paid for taking Nim.
Oh, I'm not getting paid? Well, then I'm not doing it.
Alright, Nim, you're homeless.
No, he gets paid. He gets paid in meals. Home cooking.
Fair enough.
Haha!
Nim, you have a home. However, your new nickname is breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wait, what?
Because when he calls your name, it's time to eat.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
No.
Then
Actually-
something occurs.
Oh no.
Things have settled down and things are returning to their usual, however very busy flow.
Hang on.
Go on.
Nim wants to know what people thought of the pot pies.
They were very well received. However, different from the usual, very much so.
Yeah, but
It was a rustic appeal.
Nim's gonna start bringing some of that to the table, I'm sure. This won't be the only time.
Certainly.
I totally planned for Nim to go hunt down various creatures to butcher for their meat and serve at the restaurant.
Monster Hunter, but you are a wolf.
Monster Hunter, but you're only playing a Palamute.
It's very interesting to see some of the chefs slicing meat, cutting very thin lines into it, and then smacking it with what seems to be a warhammer, but smaller and fits in one hand.
At one point, Nim will probably get a little distracted just watching, not when he's got something to cook, because, his focus always for cooking is right on that. But when he doesn't have something to cook for a moment, he probably is going to wander over to where Ramsey is working and observe. Studying.
Ramsey appears to be kneading a dough. However, his technique is very forceful, as it seems like he is putting all of his body weight into slapping down onto this dough. Like the entire table shakes with each strike.
Nim's gonna trot over and get a closer look and kind of sniff at what the dough is, see if he can place it.
The dough is very stretchy, but it smells like soup.
It smells like soup?
It does. You can smell stock inside this dough.
Mr. Ramsey, sir. What is that? What are you making?
These are experimental noodles, so to say. Every now and then we have to try to make a new recipe to bring back the customer's interest and intrigue.
Ooh, I like making new recipes.
These noodles are going to be cut by hand and then fried.
That sounds tasty.
He is hoping it's a success. It'll be paired with the sauce and fried vegetables.
Well, okay. And Nim's gonna back up a little bit, but still watches very closely until somebody gets his attention for an order.
It's round about this time where something occurs and a large number of orders start coming in very rapidly. However, it seems that there's news that some clients are leaving.
Leaving?
Indeed.
Why are they leaving?
No one's called for the manager. Or anyone.
Sorry, what was that?
In fact, but yes, and no one's calling for the manager or any security or anything of the sort. However, some of the waiters are coming back looking pale.
Nim is gonna go out to investigate.
Hearing outside, you see something interesting. There seems to be someone you don't recognize in a black and blue suit. They seem to be a fish person with a wide smile. And everyone is giving a long face.
Is this fish person like his entire upper half just kind of looks like a normal fish, or is this like a fish person, like humanoid, but he's got like scales and gills?
Imagine a Sahagin with a shark head.
What's a sahagin?
Uh, humanoid
It's a
fish person, scales
yeah.
all around.
It's an actual monster thing. Does it smell like one?
You can smell a lot of blood from this person, actually.
A lot of blood?
Yes. Though they don't look messy.
I have looked it up. Looks neat.
Well.
And at their table is someone else in a black and blue suit, smoking. It is a wolf that is Snow White. However, they're bipedal also. Both appear to be females.
Are they the only ones in the restaurant at this point, or...
No, there's a few more, but there's something about them that's really warding the other customers off. However, at the front door, you see your security. Left of it.
Are they doing... Is the security doing anything?
The security is decorating the floor, so to say.
He's dead.
Oh! Yeah, you could have just said he's dead.
Oh, but I like my colorful language.
Yeah, but I had no idea what the hell you were talking about. Literally, when you said decorating the floor, I'm thinking, what, did they have a bucket of paint and are painting some mural on the floor or something?
Well, sort of. You see there's some over there, and there, and there, and there, and a bit over there.
Well, see, the problem here is Nim wouldn't know what to do in this, like, how the policy of the restaurant is. So he's gonna go find Ramsey again. It looks like some people are dead out there.
What the goddamn... And he's going to leave the dough and go out to investigate, and you hear some yelling.
Nim is following him very closely. In fact, actually staying in front of Ramsey.
Who in the fuck are you? What are you doing in my restaurant? And the shark is the one to speak up while the wolf keeps smoking. Name's Greta. We're having a bit of a merry time, you see. Our boss man is attending apparently a very important meeting, and we're here to have ourselves a good time before things kick off, you see. Have ourselves filled. While we may not have a reservation, we promise we're not going to make you any more trouble if you don't give us any trouble. Can't just barge in here like that. Oh, I think we can.
No,
see,
I think
because
he's
we
very
already
correct.
did.
No, that's not how it works.
Oh yeah? And why not? Because it's looking to me like you got a lot of open tables right now, don't you? bad business for a restaurant if they've not got any clientele. So, being the case, you must have a lot of chefs free at the moment. That's wonderful, because
But what happened to the security over there?
I'm sure you can use your nose. You can probably smell them around here somewhere.
Okay,
Can't
so
really see any people though.
okay, so you killed them. That's definitely not okay.
Well, killed is such a strong word. I made them more palatable. And
Well, in that case,
Greta
why don't you take
is-
them and enjoy your meal and leave?
oh, I'm already enjoying them. And Greta is going to raise a hand. On the palm is a mouth that's currently chewing on something. So,
When
Hope
did
my
we
new
wind
dish-
up in an anime?
oh no. This very much seems like something that's handmade. You might be able to guess which guild is responsible for this one. Or at least Moriarty might.
Yeah,
Any ideas?
I was gonna say, Nim and myself would have no idea.
For the hand mouth?
And this shark thing that's apparently ravenously hungry.
Most likely Simic.
And we have a winner.
Well, unfortunately, we cannot serve you here without a reservation.
Well, that is a bit too bad. See, I placed a lot of orders, and I have been waiting to eat here for a very long time. And here's the thing. And Greta will lean forward to you and Ramsey. I'm getting my fill one way or another. I'm having my appetizer right now, so I hope the main courses arrive before I'm finished with it. I'm going to be eating something else.
Well, you can certainly try and eat something else, but you will not.
Oh, ain't that a shame? Well, I hope you're not back there by the time I come to pick up my delivery then.
You will not get any more food from that kitchen.
So then, I guess I just better start making sure that no chefs are busy. And Greta's going to stand up. I could start with some of the other clients. They're looking a bit scrawny though. But I hear you are what you eat. So I'm expecting that meat's gonna be pretty rich.
Sir, I am warning you for the last time that you need to leave.
They're both women.
So?
Oh, Moxie, you are a cute one. Been a while since I had a dog, though. Been about a week now, actually, thinking back on it. It's a bit stringy, but I think I can make do. As Greta is starting to reach towards you.
I like how that implies that they eat dog on a semi-regular basis.
I know, right? Nim is going to... So they're reaching with their hand?
Yes.
Okay. And Silver would be
However,
there
Hand with the mouth
Nim.
on it.
So, Nim's reaction there, if I'm allowed to get an action here.
course, they're not reaching very fast after all. They're more making a point.
Jump! I am using White Flame Fangs.
You certainly bite into their hand, but it's strange. It's rubbery. It's smooth.
He is attempting to do as much damage as he can with that one bite as possible.
Greta's hand pulls back, and they seem very unhappy as you see some things in their sleeves start to wriggle.
Well, first off, that is the damage that the one that reached towards Nim would take. And then the other one nearby would take this.
Ah, you're attacking the both of them.
White Flame Fangs, it's based on, I believe it's Purple Flame Blade. Just reflavored a little bit for Nim. Basically, I attack one person, I do weapon damage plus a little extra fire damage. And then it also, okay, it's Green Flame Blade. But anyways, it leaps to a different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of your target. And that creature takes damage as well.
You have to make an attack roll for them as well?
No. They just
Neat.
instantly take the damage. It's not a huge amount of damage, it's just, damage.
They take the damage, and Greta seems a little excited, saying, Oh, you got some spice, do you? Alright, then let's have at it.
Well, of course, I am a chef after all.
The other one, at the table, didn't really seem to appreciate getting struck as they're getting up, but they're taking the pipe out of their mouth and exhaling a small cloud before saying, Hey, we're here for a good time, got it? Greta? Dog, we're paying customers.
And you killed one of the employees here.
After they continue to approach us. So, as a chef, he thinks it's your responsibility to keep cooking. Or would you rather stop cooking?
Nim's going to look over to Ramsey. Should I escort these two out of here, or should we cook for them?
He's not looking happy. However, he's looking back at you. He's looking at them. And he's remembering earlier. Looking back and forth a few times. And then asking, take him.
Sorry, what was that?
He's asking, do you think you could take them? He sounds doubtful.
I will
Roll an
certainly
insight.
try.
Roll an insight. They might be over leveled.
They might be, but Nim's not he's not one to back down from a challenge, usually. Especially when it comes to food. Did you forget how he handled the mimic that ruined the food before?
True enough.
Fair enough.
I'm just hoping Digi doesn't actually send me against something that is too much. But
Did you have the stats for these guys written up?
I do. And it's not looking good. And it's not. I gotta be honest. This is a. I didn't think Nim would die in a guidance or in a paralogue, but it might happen.
What's their CR?
I'd put it at about a 12 each.
Okay.
12?
Yeah, that means a level 12 party would be fit to try and fight one of them. These are two 12s, which might make it a CR 15 encounter overall. You're level 5.
One of those times where it sucks playing to the character.
Well, let's see how Ramsey's insight works. Looking back and forth a few more times and then looking at the floor, he says, "It's gonna be expensive. Also, who in the fuck are you?" Name's Tanya. That's Greta. And yeah, we got the money. This bill will also include your appetizers and the funerary rites. Just get us the food. Come on, man. We've got cooking to do.
Nim growls a bit, but he will follow to the kitchen to do so. He is not happy about this.
Nim quits on his first day.
Are you sure that purple worm meat was cleansed?
Unfortunately, that was something you wanted to happen.
You know, it's a kitchen. And as ironic as it is, kitchens do tend to have poison on hand.
With certain compounds
Cleaning.
put together, but a lot of cleaning chemicals also, yes.
Well, usually the poison is actually for extermination of animals and like to keep the kitchen cleanly and safe. Especially in
Fair enough.
cities where rats are a continuous issue no matter what you do.
One way or another, there are rats. As an expert in rats, there are rats.
So, there are other ways of dealing with the problem. I could just throw that out there.
That would be very much against Nim's character.
It
Even though
would
he
be.
wants them to die, he could not bring himself to taint food.
What if it was mediocre food? That wasn't even really that good to begin with.
I mean, he's not going to put much effort into this cooking. He's not even going to bother taste testing or anything.
Fair enough.
And I still
suppose the
rolled
question-
decently well.
I mean, while you hate them, you're not going to insult your own cooking.
That is fair. That is fair. What were you going to say, Craig?
There is also a chance that maybe the head chef might get some dubious thoughts as well. Too bad Cray couldn't be here to do that.
Yeah.
Cray would 100% be like, poison them. Do it.
Do it.
Cray is the devil behind him.
Misconstrue it.
One of these days, Cray is going to be the Grand Chancellor.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Kill them.
Do it, Nim. He's too dangerous to be left alive.
Unfortunately, Cray's not there.
I know.
Well, yeah, Nim is getting the cooking going then.
All hands are on deck for this one, as orders are taken, brought back outside, and empty platters are brought back in fairly rapid succession, actually. Some platters looks like they've had bites gouged out of them, and even bones are eaten.
I also gotta say, I appreciate that this group does not criticize Nim about his
magnanimous dispensation.
Whoo! Toshibe! Toshibe is demanding, where's the lamb sauce?
We found it! We found the lamb sauce.
Thank you so very much for that donation, Toshime. I hugely appreciate it.
Did we have a donation goal set?
We did.
Yeah.
What was the donation goal?
Where's the lamb sauce?
Oh.
Num 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 num.
Somehow,
we
in the
finally
midst
found
of all
the
this,
lamb sauce.
in the midst of this crisis, one of the chefs, whom Ramsey has been getting on the case of for a while, finally gets the recipe right and delivers a magnificent. Truly, adversity is the catalyst to growth. Nim, that sauce is very good, actually. It would pair very well with chimera meat. And you get the recipe. Did you?
Excellent. Nim will make lots of good use out of it.
Mark on your note. Are you ready to make a note?
Yes.
Chimera meat with lamb sauce. If you prepare this recipe, you will have...
One moment, sorry.
Alright.
I decided to make an actual note.
Yes.
Nim's recipe book. Okay, now I'm ready. Chimera with lamb sauce?
Yes. If you prepare this recipe, the next 3 constitution rolls can be made at a +2. With a +2.
So the next 3 con saves get +2?
Yes.
For those that eat it, I assume.
Yes.
Cool.
This effect lasts the entire day.
Good.
Congratulations, Tim. You have discovered your first special recipe.
I am excited.
Do you just cook for them, or do you try to check on them again? Or is there any other Is there any other specific actions you'll be taking?
Nim will check out there every now and then. But
Greta is feasting with wild abandon, while occasionally the one called Tanya will take a plate and have some. Greta has to have eaten 20 pounds of food by now, and isn't showing any signs of slowing down. Granted, it also seems like Greta has also eaten the security guard, so who knows how much meat she got off of them.
that's not good.
That's no good.
Sorry, what happened?
But Nim was kind of expecting that. They ate the security guard.
Guards, plural.
Oh yeah, guards, plural.
But hey, there's less mess on the floors.
Yeah. I guess that is good point.
However, their sleeves seem to be ripping.
Isn't there getting buffer?
As in, there's something wriggling that's wearing out the coat that they're wearing. Because both of these people seem to be in a uniform of some sort. A blue and black suit. Like tuxedo suit.
For some reason, I just don't know what to make of this stuff. I just don't have any ideas coming to mind of explanations on that. So, Nim's just checking mostly to make sure that they're not bothering the other guests, if any are still left in the store or in the restaurant.
Some managed to finish their meal in their presence and left hastily. Or are walking in, seeing what's up, and deciding they'll be back later. So after a point, it's just Greta and Tanya in the restaurant.
Well, Nim is going to keep on working then. Like I said, he's just checking here and there. Mostly to make sure that they're not going after other customers. If he does see them killing others, then then he would definitely go to try and fight. Even if it does mean he'd die, but that's just who he is.
Well, the only ones that Greta seems to be eyeing up at the moment are the waiters. And almost rips the platters from their hands.
Nim's gonna go to the waiters and tell them not to go back out there. And instead, he's going to start animating the dishes. Yeah, the plates and stuff to carry the food out for the waiters.
They'll appreciate that quite a lot.
Yeah, I figured they would.
Hey there, Jaffer.
Congratulations, Nim. Your favorability with the staff's being restored.
Yes!
Hey there.
Hi, Jaffer.
Hey, Jaffer.
Sorry, I'm late.
You're fine. This is a paralogue, so to say.
By the way, we didn't do anything about Corn dying yet.
He died in the last session. We can't do anything about it just yet.
I know.
But the question is, Jaffer,
So-
do you want Cord to be brought back, or do you want to just play a new character? 'Cause
No,
I
don't
know
if he
you have
plays a new character.
Yeah, but I know he's got like a stack a mile tall of character sheets for other characters.
But I know if he makes a new character, it's going to be stupid and overpowered more so than Corn ever was. That's how he works. If an overpowered character dies, he makes something even worse.
My understanding was that if the DM tries to intentionally kill him, he comes back with a vengeance.
Oh yeah, no. If the DM intentionally kills me, yes. But otherwise, I just try and build something different.
Cool. I like that.
And, you know, Digi didn't purposely kill Jaffer.
Not on purpose, no.
Digi's one of the most merciful DMs.
However, there comes a point where I can't not kill someone.
Okay, back up here. Merciful DMs?
Yes.
You're talking about the guy that literally ripped my head off.
You got better.
Hey, that didn't kill you. I said merciful. I didn't say not strange.
Generally,
No one died in my
ripping
campaigns
people-
for a reason.
Generally, ripping somebody's head off is not a merciful action.
It was just to get the brain slug out. He needed
Hold
a
on,
little extra leverage without the
When I
squirming
said-
body.
When
Hold
I said
on, I literally spared your character when he 100% would have died and worked out other ways for him to live.
when I say merciful,
I mean,
I'm exclusively talking about living and death. I'm not talking about any other bodily
I
harm.
mean, he also got touched by a finger of death at level 5.
Poke.
And you managed to planeswalk, even though you have already planeswalked, to this plane and turned green.
Yeah, that whole little chaos insanity, I kind of have blacked that out in my memory. That was just so weird.
Name probably did as well.
Hang on, actually, didn't you say we leveled up last time?
I don't think Cray and Nim did because we weren't there, but we will be leveling up after this session.
Yes.
Right. So I can't get an extra boost of power.
Not yet.
Anyways, back to the
Af-
original
after
question,
your
though.
collective events. Go on.
So, Jaffer, do you want Korn to come back, or do you want to make a new character? 'Cause if
What
you
does
wanna
the
make a
party
new-
want?
I want to keep Corn around for shenanigans.
Party will likely try to revive you.
Yeah.
I myself am like, you do what you want to do. But I'm just saying, if you do want to make a new character, I mean, possibly Digi can squeeze their introduction in here on this session. I mean, it's always a possibility.
Oh.
I'm calling high.
You want me to roll that, do you?
I rolled it in the tower. High. What did I get?
Alright. First of all, what does high mean? High corn lives?
Yeah, so if I've called it correct, if it's 51 or above corn, I'll stick with corn. If it's 50 or below, I'll go with a new character.
Did that reveal the number?
No, it didn't.
That's a shame. Unfortunately, you called incorrectly. Corn is perishing. You
There we
got
go.
a 43.
Okay, I left it up to the dice gods, and the dice gods said corn stays dead.
Aw. Poor corn. He never he never got the chance to not be a slave.
Yeah. He was a slave
well-
the entire time, and then he was stayed a slave in death.
To be fair, the moment he was bought by Cray actually spoke with him and revoked his slavery. He was
Wait,
actually
just-
free.
He just
Well-
doesn't know otherwise. It
Well-
was the issue. He just doesn't
No, he specifically spoke with Korn. He told Korn he was a free man, but Korn had been raised and bred in like captivity, so he really did not know how to handle being free.
Yes, we know that. That's what I meant. He never got to experience that to truly be free because he was still a slave in his own mind.
That's half the joke, that even though Cray claims he freed Korn, he didn't.
Yeah.
But he didn't own him as a slave.
We all know you did.
Did not.
I mean, now you're not even trying to bring him back, so that just kind of proves a point that, you know, he's...
Oh, he like Cray is going to, because like story wise, yeah, of course he will.
But
Well, he-
whether that succeeds or not, the dice have decided that it won't happen. So
Well, okay. Even if Cray does bring Korn back, the experience of death may just make Korn stay in Cray's house as a permanent house servant.
an NPC.
Like that works.
So even if he does make it back, he'll just be an NPC.
An
Makes
NPC that Jeff replays.
that's cute.
So I'm not going to rule like he's never coming back. Like that's not my place. The dice gods said I play new character.
I was
Alright, fair
mostly
enough.
joking with all that, but yeah. Anyways, back to Nim dying again. Or
How many times-
nearly
how many ti-
dying.
How many times is this? 3?
Well, it depends. Do you
Well-
count the Death Knight?
Did the Death Knight try to kill you? I don't remember that happening.
Everybody thought he was going to.
Yeah, just like reach down. Oh, okay, he likes them. Okay, good.
I'm a cat
Everybody-
person. Die.
Everybody knew that Nim was going to get head pats. It was just a question of whether those head pats were going to squish him into paste or be nice and pleasant.
That's true. Well, but I didn't count that moment. I honestly, I was only half expecting for it to not be harmful. The moments I'm counting, if you get in touch by Rail and then Rail removing your head.
It's good when Nim doesn't die. It's good.
It is very good.
Yeah, you can't kill off the mascot.
Oh,
He has plot armor from being the party mascot.
about that.
I thought that was the Martens.
Not this group. Not this group.
Hmm.
If you continue to seek death, remember the baseball rules. 3 strikes and you're out.
I am not seeking death. I am just playing the character. And unfortunately, he does not have party members around in any of these situations that are trying to get through to him that, no, going up and attacking this guy is a bad idea.
Biting Raylel as he continues to teleport and then digging deeper.
Yeah. To be
Gray,
fair,
you may have to encourage him to run more often.
to be fair, Nim's only 10 years old. 5 of those years, he wasn't even sentient. Or no, 7 of those years.
That's like 70 in dog years, though. You're an old man.
Well, he's now magical, so, that's a whole other ballpark.
You're a
But
magical old man. You're like Gandalf.
But a wolf wouldn't have been taught that that going up to a death knight was a bad idea.
It is a very unique situation, to be sure.
He's running into lots of such situations that he is not prepared for.
The thing is, that one worked.
Well, yeah, so now he especially thinks going up to people, even people that seem dangerous, is fine.
Ah, poor Nim. We knew ye well, Horatio.
I don't want Nim to die.
I think Nim's gonna die.
I think so too, but that doesn't mean I want him to.
Very tragic.
Ho, 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 it's tragic.
Never believe it's not good.
What?
As Nim gets smashed and has no stocks. It's a Smash Bros. Reference. For when match end. Game.
Game.
I forget, how are we handling stats? Is it rolling?
Yes. However,
Yeah.
because of my difficulty, I allow you to roll and then continue to roll until you have a set you're happy with. However, understand that I'll be asking a lot of you.
So is it
As
4d6
in
below?
Nim's current situation.
So am I rolling 4d6 drop the lowest, is it?
Yep, that's it.
And how do you roll multiple sets?
You
do I
cannot
just-
do them in
okay.
one roll, but you can do /roll 4d6d1, and that'll automatically drop the lowest. And then you can
Yes.
just copy and paste that to roll multiple, but do them one at a time, let the results come in, because otherwise Fantasy Grounds gets confused.
Ooh. That
Okay.
is unfortunate.
Can I keep the 18 and drop the other 5?
Unfortunately, you re-roll them as sets.
Alright.
You got really good with one, and then the rest just, holy crap. Instead of making him
it's
roll...
tragic.
Instead of making
restarting.
him- yeah.
Oof,
Just-
oof.
Okay, not bad.
Okay.
Jeez, your luck is not with you today.
It's kind of balanced.
It's
It's okay.
You can't
the
work
worst.
with that.
just start again. Just start again. Just. Understand that I will be throwing you in repeatedly perilous situations. Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's not bad.
It's above average.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything particularly great, but it also doesn't have anything particularly bad.
Before I decide whether to reroll or keep, so I showed you the art and the character concept that it's sort
Yes.
of a. Can I count as being mounted for all the mounted feats?
Considering you're a tar, if you're willing to let me look over the species and edit it myself, I would allow it. You're gonna use
Oh,
a
is it-
lance on you.
I was taking the centaur race from the Ravnica. It's like the Dungeon Master's Guide to Ravnica. I was taking the centaur race from that and just reskinning it so it's a dragon look as opposed to a. So that was the only change. It's just a reskin. All the stats are the base centaur from the
Then,
Ravnica.
yes, I would allow it.
When you
'Cause that-
first mentioned being mounted, I was like, "Are you playing Crevist again?"
I'm gonna reroll because while
All
I can work with that, I'm not particularly happy with it.
Remember, you can re-roll for as long as you like. I'm a very lenient DM.
Just keep going until we hit Yahtzee.
I mean, that's what Nim did. God, did he roll for a while.
I want to try something.
I only got a
Nope.
couple of good stats.
But you got an ocean of bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just start again. Just start again.
Yeah.
The moment you roll anything less than a 9... You know, how about this? If he rolls anything less than a 9, he just re-rolls that one roll.
Oof. Unfortunately, this is my ruling, and it's already generous. Oh,
It's
Oh.
just like playing,
is this the one?
Mm.
for those other stats, I would take that.
Rank up.
It would
Hold the
suck,
line.
but
This
having
hamlet
those
shall
two
not
really low
fall.
ones, but with the rest of them, those are good rolls.
It depends on what you want to do.
What class are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go fighter cavalier.
Okay, so the only things that you need are your Cavalier. Do they have stuff involving charisma?
You can dump your intelligence and wisdom.
I would not recommend dumping wisdom. Because this is not the last you've seen of the Master of Cruelties.
Alright, so quick sort of calculations.
Alright, here's what I'll do. I'll let you bookmark one set. If you get frustrated, we can come back to it.
Alright, so I've bookmarked that. Let me write those down separate.
And while he's doing that, hours pass by, and the kitchen's and the pantry's looking a bit barer than it used to. Before finally, a waiter, the waiters, whomst have just been like peeking at them, taking turns doing that, announce that they're asking for the check.
Rip.
That's And
Nim's
Ramsey gets up.
Nim's gonna look over at Ramsey and just him and Silver are gonna take up kind of guard positions on either side of him.
Oh, he's got an 18.
This is reminding me so much of Baldur's Gate, where you basically just kept re-rolling and re-rolling until you got the best.
Never played Baldur's Gate, actually.
This is an interesting build because it's
That I might actually that one I'll keep.
you
All
got
right.
your +4, your +3, your +2, your +1, your normal, and a -1. This is an interesting stat range.
Well,
Yeah, it's like the ladder. You've got a -1 to a +4 every one.
so I'll stick with that one because that's actually a decent spread. I'll put the 9 into wisdom, which I get a +1 on, so that equals a wisdom of 10.
Ah, smart. And the rest are even.
Yeah. Strength will get the 18, so it goes to 20. 16 con, 14 dex. Now, let's go the 12 intelligence, 10 charisma, 10 wisdom. That works. Now we're level 6, are we?
Level 5, but we're going to be level 6
Oh,
soon, so I'd say just make yourself a level 6.
Alright.
Also, which guild would you like to be joining?
I need to figure that one out.
Alright. Discuss it with me and Red later.
If you want to help with shenanigans, we could talk.
I will also allow shenanigans.
So the cupboards are looking bare at Nim's place.
Anyway, you escort them back. Or you escort Ramsey. You and Silver. Greta's sleeves have been ripped, and the rest of their suit is looking a bit tight, so to say. However, their arms are much like their hands, lined with other jaws that seems to have eaten through their sleeves. Greta looks quite satisfied, though, whereas Tanya seems mostly indifferent, still smoking on their pipe. Alright, Chief, what's the damage? Tanya asks. It's on this receipt, Ramsey says as he hands it over. Tanya looks it up and down before writing out a promissory note and handing it over. A promissory note to an Orzhov bank. You sure you got enough to cover this? Ramsey asks with barely disguised malice. All that and more, Tanya answers passively. Alright, Greta, we got what we want. Let's get on here. Fireworks will be starting pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. Fireworks? What are you playing at? Ramsey asks. Well, that's not really for us to say, but keep an ear out. It should be all over the news. As Tanya stands up, but Greta says, "Aw, but I'd like something to go. Something nice to chew on. You'll get plenty of that soon enough. Don't fill yourself up just yet. You've got other meat to get." Fine. See you later, Pooch. And you too, Sirloin. As Greta
Please let
almost
the door hit you on the
reluctantly
way out.
Well, if you can put enough of the door together to slap me, by all means. And she gives a belly laugh before following her lupine friend out.
Nim's gonna look up to Ramsey kind of for guidance, like, okay, what now?
For now, we're done. We've called this day early. Need to restock, repair, and rehire. I hope this check is worth it. He seems very displeased. Everyone's had a stressful day. We're not in much state to keep serving.
I agree and understand that I hope they don't come back.
It better not. Granted, at that point, I'm not sure what to do about them.
Well, I'll just have to get stronger.
Yeah, you do that.
And then I can kill them next time.
If you can strike them down, I'll let you fry them.
Woo!
You can use all the kitchen's facilities just to do that.
I will happily do that.
Great.
Except Ramsey doesn't know that Nim is A-okay with eating people he kills.
He might have some inkling. Remember, your hiring process was quite tumultuous, let's say.
This is true. This is true.
So, where will Nim go now?
Well, I'd say let
If you're
Craig
feeling
go.
particularly sneaky, you could try to follow them. Or just call it early and try to relax.
Well, what time is it roughly? Like, would Nim think the trial's still going?
It's been about 4 hours at this point. So, wait, no. They arrived later. It's been about 5 hours.
But the trial didn't start until after his shift.
It started
did.
1 hour after you started working.
Okay. So Nim would probably
by
assume
all
it's not.
rights, it should have concluded by now, probably.
Well, I will think on what Nim's going to do next. Go ahead and go over to Cray for now, and I will think on what Nim's going to do.
That is a fantastic idea.
If I may briefly interrupt between, is Selesnya an okay guild to take?
Yes. In fact, Graham is also part of Selesnya.
I'm pretty sure every guild is a fine guild to take.
Well, I was looking up, and all of the centaurs are in Ravnica are either part of Selesnya or Gruul. And since I'm going to be playing one a bit more defensive and more noble, per se, then that was the Selesnyan one recommended.
Hey! Nim is part of the Gruul.
Well,
Cool,
okay,
very impressive.
it said Selesnyan centaurs are more noble and act as guards, whereas Gruul centaurs act more as raiders and are more savage.
Correct
Which makes
statement.
sense.
Fine. I see what you think of Nim.
No, that's just what I think of Gruul centaurs. Is Nim a centaur?
Savage Doggo boys.
Anyways. His turn.
Yep. Craig, you're heading for the grand audience chamber of the Azorius,
Yep.
dashing at full speed.
Is there anyone in the halls?
As you approach the grand set of doors, there is a very familiar face there. They look a little different, though.
I'm going to try to approach stealthily.
Well, they're standing in front of the doors, but alright. Roll stealth.
That doesn't mean I charge the door necessarily. Who is
Right.
there at the door?
Charge the door.
That's the person you saw Graham tackle. And knock unconscious, actually.
That's a natural 20.
So it is. You are very stealthy. You can approach and get a very good look at this person who seems to be otherwise entirely unaware of you. This is Eileen.
And when Graham tackled her, didn't he say something like, that's the one, she did it?
She seems to be responsible for the teleportation. However, Graham's guild representative smacked another canine, a black one, saying that he's the one who did it.
Gotcha.
Eileen seems to be humanoid. Completely humanoid. Her hands are very, very pale, though, and she's not wearing gloves. They're almost like colorless.
Sorry, say that last part again?
Her hands are like devoid of any coloration other than white. But she's not wearing gloves.
Gotcha. Alright then.
This one
And
seems a little different, though.
And she's just standing in front of the door.
Yep. She's wearing a blue and black tuxedo.
Her
face is veiled behind a cloth this time, and you see 3 large gears that seem to be protruding from the back of her head.
This is a construct.
Most things don't have gears coming out of them. What will you do?
Hmm. And do I know of any other ways into the chamber?
There are the ways that the Senate members themselves enter, but those are heavily worded because they're teleporters built safely and securely only for a single person, and attuned only to the singular person.
All right.
If you had some arcane methods, you could try to like resynchronize it for you.
I do not.
Then
I'd like to take the ink bottle that I have just on hand and throw it at a location nearby to try and get her attention and draw her away from the door.
the ink bottle is hurled and shatters spectacularly. And Eileen glances over in that direction, but otherwise remains still.
All right.
Actually, only her head and neck moved. She seems to also be maintaining the same exact posture with her hands lightly folded in front of her.
He's going to try and approach her from, of course, the opposite direction to which she's looking.
Yep. With her attention pointed in that direction, and your previous stealth roll, I'd say you have advantage on this approach.
Okay. Another stealth roll, I assume?
Yep.
With advantage. The 21 total.
That beats her passive. What would you like to do?
If her head is still turned and she's looking the other way, I'm gonna see if I can't either block or disrupt or remove the gears from the back of her head to see if that doesn't just shut her down.
All right. So this would be a sleight of hand, or are you
Okay.
trying to forcefully pull it out?
I'd say start with sleight of hand, probably.
All right.
Like we want to just like
One of the gears does look smaller than the other ones.
there we go. Bada bing. 25 total.
Very nice. Looking over them, the connections are strange, but the smaller one seems like it was a more recent connection, and they're spinning strangely. However, with a dexterous movement, you take it out. It's heavy, and it's warm somehow. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. That's a natural one.
Oh dear. Your mind is flooded with a sudden bout of visions. Your name is Jeremy. You're a raccoon. You work a very simple, very repetitive job. Your life is devoid of meaning. You have no one who cares about you. You work every day just to make your ends meet. And you hear rumors of someone who can give you purpose. You seek them out. An abandoned building that looks something like a church, and you see her, garbed in white and looking radiant. You confess your desire to find purpose, and she assures you, don't worry. While you may be a cog, you're part of a very important machine. Let me help you. And there's pain. There's a lot of pain. And then suddenly, in the darkness, you're fit into place, and a sense of fulfillment spreads through you as you turn and turn, part of a greater machine. And you snap back to your senses as she turns to face you.
Do I still have the gear?
Yes, it's still in your hand,
Ah.
and you can almost hear a second voice screaming in your head to give it its fulfillment back. That was a thought gear, Eileen says fairly curtly. A somewhat rare gear. I was very happy that he had come to me. Are you perhaps too looking for purpose?
Just gonna go ahead, pocket the gear, then try to open the door and just rush in behind her, like just fucking. Just no, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this right now. Not what I came here for.
A smart move, but these doors are very heavy. Give me a strength check or athletics if you're proficient in it.
I am proficient in athletics. 16.
You're pushing the doors open very quickly. And she's not moving from her spot, but you can feel her charging up a spell.
All right.
One more.
One more what?
One more athletics check, if you please. Because you are making some good and desperate progress on these heavy doors.
Is there enough of a crack to slip in through?
You're putting your entire weight into one side, but unfortunately these doors were made to be opened by a set of guards.
Okay. Is she saying anything for the spell?
She does appear to be.
Okay, so that means it has a semantic component. In which case, let me look something up real quick. I need to see if this will work.
And the gears behind her head are turning very quickly now.
I've just sent you a DM Digi on Discord.
Okay. So then I'm going to use 2 key points to cast Silence, which creates silence within a 20-foot radius sphere upon a point of my choosing. And inside this sphere, casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible. So I'm going to do that real quick to try to dispel whatever she's doing, assuming it requires a verbal component, which I believe you just verified for me.
Yes.
And I'm going to go back to, opening the damn door.
All right. She seems mildly surprised that the spell was...
Well, that's a natural one.
that the spell was stopped. Fuck these doors. Fuck. They're so heavy. However, she is going to remain in place and just try it again.
All right. This is a concentration spell that takes up to 10 minutes. It's not an instant thing. It's sticking around. So if she's trying to do a verbal spell, she can try again. By all means. In fact, I encourage her to continuously try to cast a verbal spell in a zone of silence. I encourage that kind. Like right now, absolutely. Please keep doing it.
She seems to be experimenting with this. And
All
it'll
right.
take her another round to figure it out.
All right.
So you have one free round.
Whoop, that's Arcana. Oh, I saw it bounce on a 20. 15 to open the door.
You push it open enough to slip inside.
And then I would like to first gauge what's going on inside real quick.
Peering inside, the counselors haven't moved. They are all sitting behind their table, and before them is that black wolf that you've seen, seeming fairly pleased with himself. And they seem to be having a discussion. However, the council seems on the border of erupting in rage.
Question.
Whereas he's holding a simple and pleasant smile.
Question. I guess a few things. First things first, has the council noticed that I have entered, because I assume they would have view of the door?
They're not paying attention to the door. Their gaze is focused solely on the object of their ire.
I know that they wouldn't have heard the door open because that zone of silence is a solid 20 feet, so the door opening made literally no sound. Second question, does the door have, like, a handle or something?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to try to shut the door and then slot my sword into the handle to barricade it shut. So that she can't just follow me.
Eileen is stepping forward.
Oh no, I slipped through the door and I'm trying to shut it.
Yes, now she is also moving forward as you have gone through the door. Okay, in a motion to pursue you.
Okay, I would like to shut her between the doors then.
Athletics check, if you please. Athletics check.
That's not great.
That is not great, as she pushes an arm through. And you get the impression that she's saying something, but you're still in a zone of silence.
Okay. I'm going to keep trying to push at the door, and I'm going to slice at her hand to try and get her to retract her hand so I can barricade the door.
Alright, I will take an athletics check and an attack roll with that weapon.
Athletics is not doing great. Attack with the short sword, though.
Eileen is now on the initiative. So you can roll that on her specifically.
Rolled an 18 for attack.
Let's see. Eileen, how are you looking?
I don't think she can dodge.
Not at this moment, no. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. And if this is officially combat, I do normally have 2 attacks per turn.
It slices into her hand, and you come across an odd resistance, but you are doing damage.
I'm mainly trying to get her to recoil so that I can close the door.
She is not recoiling. In fact, she is continuing to push ahead. However, your actions are being split up between pushing the door and simultaneously stabbing her.
It's more like chopping.
Chopping, yes.
Like
But-
if I'm able to hold this door long enough, I will just straight up lop her arm off.
Fair enough. So would you like to then keep her from opening the door and continue to attack her arm, or are you actively trying to crush her arm?
Well, I mean, like both. I'm trying to press the door shut and also hit at her arm.
Alright then. I guess I can allow that, I guess. So then she would roll. Was that 9 your athletics?
9? Yeah, that was my athletics for last turn.
Alright. So then, that being the case, I suppose you can have your second attack.
Okay. That's not gonna hit.
The arm moves aside as if beginning to predict you.
To where?
Down. It's as it seems that
she's got a crouch. She's going down far enough to miss the swing of the blade.
Yes.
Like, there's only one direction. There's like she can go up or down. I've got her in a bind.
So you do.
Anyways, that's all I can do.
It's now Eileen's turn. What will Eileen do? Her strength isn't particularly plentiful, but she is trying to push against you. So, let's see how she does. Attributes. The door starts to slowly open a bit wider as she beats your previous 9.
Yeah, I figured she would. It was a pretty low roll.
And slowly her shoulder starts to emerge from the doorway. However, she seems to start casting something else.
Right?
And a cackler appears in the room. Right next to you.
Alright.
Where did... There it is. However, it seems dazed, curiously enough. It is not taking its first turn. Great, what do you do?
Continue doing what I've been doing. I try to, like, force her back out through the door.
Alright. Athletics.
Yep. 17, which I believe beats her 16.
Yes. You start pushing her back. You may also have your attack actions.
Yay. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 will connect.
I'll also just do the other attack real quick. If a 16 hits, I think that hits.
It does.
Getting those max damage hits, huh?
Very nice. You are stabbing into her, but the resistance you're feeling isn't metal? Not exactly. You're cutting
Bone.
into her. It feels like meat, but she's not bleeding.
This is undead.
Cackler does not have its first turn, so it's back to Eileen. She does not succeed against you, as that good push is keeping her out. However, her
By the
arm
way-
remains, and she seems to be trying to cast something else.
Did you check
Yes.
Discord?
Oh, I haven't. Let's see it. Okay. Alright, sure. This shouldn't take too long, especially with how Cray has chosen to manage this encounter.
What's up?
Eileen's trying to cast something else. However, it doesn't seem like it's taking effect right away. But that Cackler is looking pale.
Why does the cackler look pale?
Unknown. Back to you.
Alright. Well, the cackler is probably going to, like, exist in a second. So I go ahead and use another 2 key points to cast Darkness. So, in case the cackler didn't see me, now it doesn't. And I'm just gonna creep around in the darkness. And, I'm gonna give up on the door thing. And just try to, like, sneak around and find a, like, spot to...
You were keeping her very much out of sight.
And now I'm keeping her even more out of sight.
Yes. You are also keeping her from entering and getting in melee, which would have also been a pretty bad idea.
Yep. So I've cast Darkness, and I'm kind of just sneaking around into the darkness. I'm moving away from the door. I'm going to move kind of in a somewhat random direction to try and just simply hide amidst the darkness. In fact, I would like to try and get into the various, like, seats and whatnot, and, like, hide amidst what I assume is rows and rows of chairs and seets.
Fine idea.
Basically trying to, like, disengage from the combat.
Yep.
And get hidden.
All right. Your zone of silence follows you, yes?
Zone of Silence is on a point, and it's 20 feet from that point. So I put the point on her, so her original position, 20 feet from that, is a Zone of Silence.
I see.
I think Darkness follows basically the same rules, but instead of it being no sound, it's now you can't see.
Right.
But let me double check that.
I'm just waiting if I can or cannot take that particular feat. And also when gearing the character, I'm assuming no magic items.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Darkness is 15 feet, and Darkness can be put on an item, so I would actually like to put the Darkness on her then. Oh, it needs to be an object that I'm holding, or one that isn't being worn or carried. So I'll just put the Darkness on the door then.
Eileen pushes the door open enough to step inside. And can you see through this darkness?
I cannot particularly. Not unless I give myself Dark Vision, which unfortunately costs another 2 key points. I only have 1 left.
I see.
So I'm just trying to move in a way to disengage. Probably get out of the Dark Vision as well. Out of the darkness as well. Though I'm pretty sure the imp and her should still be in the darkness.
Yes, they are.
So that shouldn't be an issue for me. So I'm just trying to get out of it since I know its point of origin.
Yep.
And kind of the general layout of the area. I'm going to try to exit in such a way that I know I'm probably near some seats or something, and just yeah.
Would you like to roll a stealth check?
I would like to, yes.
Go ahead, with advantage, since you know this room's layout and you are disengaging under the cover of darkness.
18 total, not bad.
Not bad, not bad. Eileen will step out afterwards, glance around, and you don't see the cackler follow after her.
Did you say she exited the room?
She walked past that point of darkness, but she walked past alone.
Okay.
And there seems to be some viscera on her.
Ah, she destroyed the thing.
On her sleeve.
Oh, that might just be me then.
She seems to be glancing around curiously. And simply offers a small shrug. However, now you're out of the zone of... You can hear bits of the conversation now.
Yep. That's kind of what I was looking to do.
To what end? They demand. For the simple sake of music, I wish to paint the city in my colors. The unknown wolf says. We've been at a standstill far too long, and I'm quite tired of this simple segmentation, so to say. So, for the sake of our grand performance to wake the city up from its eternal slumber, let our chorus ring out once more. Ah, Eileen, you're here. Pardon, sir. Someone has entered the room. I can't quite seem to see them. Oh, that's quite all right. I do believe we're done here anyway. And the council stands up. And you think we'll simply let you leave? You made a very smart choice in not engaging us, but our leniency is at an end. And that's where I'm afraid you're underestimating me. He says with a
I would like to
smile.
prepare an action.
Go ahead.
If it looks like he's starting to either use an item or cast a spell, I would like to throw my sword at him to try and interrupt it.
He's not, but Eileen is.
That works.
Alright, you chuck your sword at Eileen.
With the intent of interrupting the spell.
Alright, roll an attack.
Alright, I don't know what a thrown attack would be.
What weapon specifically are you throwing?
A sword. A short sword.
A short sword.
They're not designed for throwing.
So this might be an improvised attack roll.
Yeah, I know they're not designed to throw. I'm throwing it, though.
I think you would then D20 plus your dexterity, but not proficiency.
So, flat dex roll.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
strength, because
Strength?
throwing is based on strength.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. It's not finesse.
Shit.
That will miss.
Does it distract? Or stop them, at least in that regard? Just a clank.
It does not. It does. As the wolf vanishes and Eileen remains.
Hmm.
The council is in a goddamn uproar, demanding to know whom this is. And she will offer a bow and says, I am but a wing shorn from the host. Around this building are feathers shorn from the wing. I'll be departing now. Thank you for your time. And she will bow, and the same spell is happening. However, now the council's ready to throw their magic. They have had enough of this bullshit. Is there anything you would like to do?
How far away is she?
She is about 25 feet.
I'm gonna hold my action until whatever spell they cast, just in case it's like an area of effect. It probably shouldn't be, knowing how they work, but I will still hold it just in case.
Alright. Let's see how they do. And add that together. Oops, wrong. those spells rip into her. And her suit is looking worse for wear. Very clearly so. However, she remains standing. And it looks... And after your held action, it looks like she may just vanish as well.
Okay, I would like to try and grapple her.
Go ahead.
That's an athletics check, isn't it?
That is, yes.
Uh, 18 for grapple.
You successfully... This is a contested thing?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, generally athletics or
Oh.
acrobatics versus athletics or acrobatics.
She succeeds.
Okay.
And pushes you off. Before saying, I'll be back for that at some point. Do hold on to him.
For that what?
She said, I'll be back for him, but hold on to him until then. I think you'll be a thought gear too. Before she vanishes.
He brushes himself off.
The council is ready to explode. But they see you and are seated, taking a breath and saying, So, what brings you here? I believe your meeting room was elsewhere.
Of course, gentlemen. Though, that being said, there was information I wanted to share with you all, and with an all-out attack going on, I wasn't certain of the situation in here. He says he
Fair.
went to go pick up his sword and then sheath it.
Fair, and you were certainly taking measures against them. This ridiculous group, an ensemble. Honestly, preposterous.
May I inquire as to why they were discussing so politely? I had assumed that there was going to be an assassination attempt.
Such seems not to be the case, or perhaps some other plans were foiled in the meantime. They simply came here for a formal introduction, so seems to be the case. Their leader goes by the name of Severin. Apparently. However, it seems quite safe to say that he is as unhinged as they come. And he has supposedly gathered a number of like-minded individuals for a special performance.
Sounds like something Rakdos.
It's the performance of a lifetime. One that will supposedly make sure the city will never be the same again.
Well, I certainly don't trust a promise such as that.
It's certainly dubious, however, seeing as that we were so forthcoming with the information, we were inclined to continue discussing things with him.
Was he foolish enough to give away his entire plot as well?
Not to that extent. But we certainly did needle him. It seems he's got quite the number of friends he's gathered from around the city, like-minded individuals, as stated before.
Guild association?
He does seem to be Rakdos, and checking the records, He was one of the ranking members among them. We'll be certainly discussing these matters with the Rakdos if they are backing him. The
I wouldn't
guild
be
pact
terribly
may
surprised.
have to be looked over one more time.
There was news that I did state during the council meeting that I did wish to share now.
Go ahead.
The individuals that we believe were behind the mortar strike, which may or may not be connected to this recent attack, though current signs point to this being a separate entity. But for the individuals regarding the attacks with the mortars, who were potentially guildless, led by a gilded individual, we believe the gilded individual or originates within the Orzhov. I didn't want to mention this during the entire meeting of all of the guilds being there. On top of that, on top of the originator being Orzhov, we do believe that we have found part of their intended plan as a total. That would be to re-summon one of the great Nephilim to wreak havoc and destruction.
They pale and seem to slump back in their chairs. First the ensemble, now these seekers. Gods, what's happening to the city?
Indeed. I assume you all know about the pieces of magic and power, then?
It is disturbing that someone of your rank would know of them.
Unfortunately, this business with the Seekers has opened my eyes to such a piece of information. Though to be fair, I'm surprised you don't trust some of us knowledge keepers with that information to begin with.
Such things are kept behind restricted access area. They are things that are not meant to surface again. Not even in times of need.
Unfortunately, this guildless band of individuals seems hell-bent on resurfacing them. It's getting to the point where all guilds are trying to keep things under wraps, and I must state some are doing so better than others.
Andy?
If you're so hot power, so change the tools for water to a dryer.
Alright.
What?
So that is the case.
Indeed. I don't know how these individuals found out the information about these existing pieces of power, so to speak, but whatever their source is, it seems to also be able to locate them as well.
There may not be a direct connection to this ensemble and these guildless, but we'll certainly treat them both with immediate termination. If the Rakdos are not backing them, then we'll be free to terminate every single one. And
Agreed.
the Orzhov will be put under an inspection. A thorough inspection.
No, I'm surprised it took the threat of all of Ravnica to get that one going through.
Well, we would have liked to put this through formal procedures, but this time we may have to rush it.
Understood.
Will that be all, Librarian Cray?
Let me think. I do have a name of the Orzhov individual who we believe is behind things, though I must state we do already have plans to take him out of the picture.
Fascinating. Go on then.
We're simply going to try to detach him from the Orzhov main general building. You see, the recent structure that had been destroyed due to an explosion that had caused the whole incident between Commander Golkasa and various Gruul, that building did belong to him, and we believe that it was purposely destroyed for an insurance claim, because of course the Orzhov would do that kind of thing. So we are going to have an Izzet individual who I have had experience with via various contracted jobs with, speak with him, posing as an insurance claimant, and with myself there as a legal advisor, we are hoping to have him pulled away so that he can be detained.
We'll
Of
allow
course.
this motion.
Of course, if we could have additional Azorius support, either from some of the peacekeepers, or additional Boros support for soldiers in case he comes with additional men and armaments, that would be entirely helpful.
You'll have your peacekeepers.
He bows his head. I greatly appreciate this.
So when is this going to be set in motion then?
I believe we haven't mentioned that in a few, but I think it was supposed to be like 2 days out from this meeting.
That's correct.
Okay. It's to happen in 2 days' time.
Right. We'll direct the peacekeepers to you once we've organized them, and they will follow your commands.
He bows his head. I appreciate your trust in my abilities with this task.
Well, as things have finally reached their boiling point, we have to have some faith in our subordinates, should once that ours is proven as you are, apparently.
I do my best to graciously represent the Azorius Council.
So you do. So you do. Well then, dismissed. We have things to organize.
Understood.
Information to catalog. And a hunt to begin.
May I ask what of the other chambers and the ongoing attacks? You are aware there are other ongoing attacks going around the chambers right this moment, correct?
They will be restarting the holographic images, and certainly every room seems to have had something happen inside of it. And they scowl, as most things look like they've been cleaned up after this point, and said, so this is what he meant by buying time. How disgusting.
I hope there aren't too many casualties. I know a lot of representatives were here.
From every guild to think they'd launch this attack regardless boggles the mind. They have to have incurred huge losses just to make an introduction.
That doesn't sound unlike the Radgos. You know as well as I do, half the things they do for the hell of it.
True enough. That'll be all.
He
We'll
gives a
tally
bow
the
and
damages.
he'll make his way out and back to the party, where he will find that Cord is dead.
And we'll leave that for next session.
All right.
But hey, you've learned the name of apparently this big bad, and some mysteries of Eileen. And you've acquired a thought gear.
Oh,
Whatever that does for you.
it shall be studied by Korn when he is back.
Yes.
Wait, what?
We're going to revivify Korn, regardless of if he has a new character or not.
Maybe. Maybe. But thank you
I think
everybody for joining us for Guild Tales Dungeons and Dragons. I will be back tomorrow with more streaming. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those things there on the website, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really could not do it without you guys. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the channel around. You can also support by using our Humble Bundle partner link to pick up some games and such over at Humble Bundle. And, of course, pick up some merch over at zgfgaming.store. It just occurred to me I forgot to actually bring up the ending screen. So we got some credits to roll through here. So... But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for coming by. And I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for coming,
Hello.
everyone.
Bye-bye! Oh. I definitely have to start doing that in this game, at least, because, you know, now I don't have any of the others to do, so I get to terrorize you with that, Digi.
Oh no.
I think I killed Digi.
Here's the thing: if we don't react to it, he won't get any joy out of it.
Oh, I'll still get joy because I know how wonderful. I know how you actually feel about it.
Who actually feels about it?
I don't know. How do you feel about it, Digi?
I'm passive.
Huh. I'll still do it. Anyways, see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.